So this demo, it's been kind of talked about before, and we had last time we're talking about dynamic cache. So one new thing here is that we kind of wanted a way to be able to change the way how this is displayed and the way how your name is displayed, because I don't care about your username. It's too technical. Okay. So really in Orchard, we don't have a way to change that. So I added a package. It's outside of Orchard Core, because I don't know if it's something we want to have in Orchard Core or not. If it is, we can easily bring it in. But basically, a way to customize that output. And also, you might want a way to use avatars. Okay, so there's two new features that this package will add. One of them is for avatar, and the other one for display name. So I want to go in and show how the avatar module works real quick. So there's a feature called user avatar. If you enable it and you go to your profile, you will be able to attach an avatar. So here, if I select this nerd and save it, and then you'll see that your avatar is up here. And if you go click on content items, you will see your avatar right there. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one is changing the whole name. Display. So there's another feature called Customizable User Display Name. If you enable that, you can go to the profile. Now you'll see place you can type in your first name, middle name, and last name. You save it. Well, nothing changes because I just updated my first name, last name. But there's a new setting here under configuration settings, and it's called user display name. And here you can change how you want the name to be displayed. In this case, you have three options. I thought about maybe at some point we have another option called other, and then you can just put a liquid and then have your own format. I know that's probably Sebastian is what you're thinking about. So anyway, so you can change it how you want the format, and if you save it, you will notice that the name changed up here already. And if I go click here, you'll see my name also changed. So it's no longer showing M. Hayek, it's showing Mike Hayek with my avatar. So the way how this work is also utilize a dynamic caching. So whenever we create one of those, we save it. So this is actually a shape. So it's a cacheable shape. So if we run this list or a longer list, we're not re-executing the code in the database every single time. So if I sit here and refresh, I'm not calling I'm not making another round trip to database because this shape is cached. This shape is invalidated immediately if you update your profile. So if I go in here and I said, change it to Mike 2 and then save it, now what happened? It will invalidate the cache and generate a new shape. As you notice here, now my name has 2. And then similarly here, this is also a shape that we also cache. So we're reusing the same user instance to create multiple shapes and save it, so that way we can reuse it. So I thought it's a pretty cool thing to share. And like I said, it's available publicly. Just install that. But I don't know if it's something we want to bring into Orchard. Sebastian, you might want to, mention whatever. If that's something we want to consider, then I can probably bring in the code. But yeah, so that's it.
Cool. I'm not sure I would have added a third option with Liquid. I will just have not added any option, and maybe you have a reason to have first, middle, last name. I will just have a property called display name. Maybe using Liquid also, so you can still use Liquid if you want on top of your name. So you could write Michael Hayek, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, in the settings right here, like in the display.
Yeah. And for instance, if you really want that the display name is based on the first, last, middle, you could then just add more profile options, and then change the display name to be first, middle, last, and maybe something else. So
like this is the common, right? Those are like the common things. But yes, you can like.
So what I mean is that don't even have this drop down where you enter the first, last, middle.
Yeah, I just have a display name.
Yeah.
No, and I get it, right? But sometimes you might want to refer to someone by first name or last name.
Sure. And that's why my second comment, which is still by having the display name in the settings, then if you really want your display name to be first, middle, last name, or to be based on something else, then you add these properties to the profile.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have either first name, middle name, last name, or replace those with a new field called display name.
Mm-hmm.
I personally prefer this way.
Yeah,
but
because
we can have a feature that say configure it and then whether display here first name, last name, or just a display name. But at the end of the day, if you want to go down that route, you probably would have to have it configurable where.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying just display name with liquid. That's what I would have done. That's my opinion. It doesn't have to be that way.
So in the settings here.
Here in this page. In this page.
I mean, this is a user profile.
Right. No, you're right.
I don't want to do that.
No, it has to be in the settings. Yes. Yeah, display name just being a text box with the.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that, and if you do that, whatever the user type will be a display name.
You need two things. You need in the user profile, you need the display name, and then I see.
So here, if it's configurable, here either we display 3 fields or display 1 field, and the one field will be called.
So then I will agree with what you said at the beginning, which is Sebastian will have said yes. Sebastian will just say use a text box with liquid.
Yeah, but again, that's a too technical, I think. So if these are the common ones, that's why I put it here. That's why I said if anything, we can have an other option that you can, because I mean, what other known formats out there in the world that are using for displaying a name?
What I'm saying is that text box with the default being the most common one, first, middle, last name, and then they can change it, and it's in the hint, so it's so ubiquitous in Orchard that you to do things like this. It's not hard, even.
Yeah, no, and I get it. I mean, by default, it's a username, which is what we display today. So sure, yeah, we can make it a text box, but I just thought. For me, from a user perspective, this is what I think. Having a pre-configure options is much easier than having to understand. Like if you don't know anything about Liquid or Orchard, you go in here. Okay, now what does this Liquid means, right? Now I have to go and understand what Liquid before I can modify it, right? But in this case, just because it's like 99% of the time you're going to use one of these 3, right? And so, and if we want to have other, then sure, yeah, we can have other, but I like the fact of using a menu just from a user perspective is much easier. From a developer, if you know whoever is going to be consuming your site is a developer that knows Orchard Core and Liquid, then yes, sure, you can have a text box. But I assume that whoever is using Orchard isn't really, or they're not always an Orchard, developers or familiar with Liquid. So
good. So there is already a shape
for
the display name.
Yep, this is the shape. This is another shape.
Yeah, but it's already a shape today. That's why you were able to arrive.
No, it's not, and that's why in here, right now in Orchard, this is what we do. So in order for you to really install it, you need to define this.
So first thing to do is to change that to make it a shape.
Correct, because in Orchard Core today we do not have that as a shape.
First thing you need to do in Orchard, forgetting about your feature, is to make it a shape.
Yes.
So people will be able to even customize it. I mean, it shouldn't be part of customizable. You see all these things here that you are writing. No, it should be in Orchard already.
Correct, but it's not. So because it's not, this is a workaround. I agree.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I actually think the whole menu, the user menu, and the login menu should be much more dynamic, because today, if you look at the code, they're all hard coded.
Oh,
and
that's weird.
yeah, it's all hard coded. It's not good.
They are on the shapes already. Oh, I see the menu. Okay, login menu. Okay, okay, I see what you mean. Not the login page, but the menu itself. Okay.
Correct. The menu itself, it's not. If you go look, if we look at the code real quick, you'll see what I'm talking about. Wait, that's not it. Oh yeah. So if you look at this, see all these menus are hard coded here. Okay. You know, it's not really.
Fine. It's fine to have some of the things not really, because we always want them there. But
yeah, but see, we have this right here, right?
Yes.
So
this is good.
A lot of this should be injected here, and also see this right here. We should have another shape right in here.
Okay.
Which allow us to change the value that we are presenting.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Yeah. See, because this check right here, this is not really how we do things in Orchard, right? So if you use some sort of filter to inject whatever you want based on permission, then probably be a code level, not in the view. So like, here, you're checking if you have authentication, right? Before you inject it. I mean, this isn't bad because it's part of the same module.
Yeah, that's okay.
But then you have things here like allow change email, right? Like this right here.
It should be in the email module. Yeah.
Yep. It shouldn't be here, right? So that's the thing. So this is not really the best way to write this code, but
good. No. Okay, thank you.